Hey everybody, Justin with AmericanMuscle.com here, and welcome to another installment of Customer Builds. Now in this video series, we showcase different customer rides from our build pages here at AM. You're gonna find hundreds of awesome Mustang builds, along with a complete breakdown of each modification for each build. Today, we're talking to Tom from California about his 2005 V6, and guys, you're gonna wanna check this one out. He's got a lot going on with his ride, including some stuff that he's customized and done so in a very unique way. Now, if you want to see a complete breakdown of all Tom's modifications, check out his build page, of course, or simply click on that link below. But say what's up to Tom. Again, thanks for joining us today. We're really excited to be featuring your car. It looks like you've really left no stone unturned when it comes to modifications.
When I bought it, I was looking at, the GT and the V6, and I've had GTs before or Mark 1s before, and this is going to be my daily driver, so the gas mileage was really an important thing there.
I can't fault you for that. Well, Tom, with these videos, we typically like to ask our owners to just basically walk us around the car, talk about some of the modifications, and I like to start up front because I think, especially in your case, it really is the center of attention, I would think, here. You got a lot going on. Tell me about some of your mods up front.
The first thing I did was log onto your website because I was looking for something to modify, and that's how I found out about the American Muscle has had everything. So first thing I wanted was the GT style lights because I really am into the 69 and 70 Mark 1s because that's what I had. I really like the new design of the 2005 because it mimicked the 65s, 68s, 69s, and 70s. It really mimicked those. And so that's when I ended up getting the GT style lights from you guys. My 69 and 72 had the front spoiler, and when I seen that come up, I definitely had to go with that. So I really liked the front spoiler. Then the other thing I did was the shaker hood. I had to have that. The shaker hood was one thing I really liked, even on the 70 Mark 1s, and so I had to have that, and so I put that on. So I guess I'm going back to my childhood.
It works, man. It really works. You cut up that beautiful shaker hood there for those hood vents from MMD.
Once I got the pattern, you guys had great videos, you had great patterns and things like that. It worked out really good. It was a no-brainer. Once I started it was fun.
Now, rounding out the front end, it looks like, obviously you have the Raxiom headlights there. In addition to, you change out the badging on the front end. You got the tri-bar going on there, and it looks awesome, man. I have to say, it's
the tri-bar there again. I think that goes back to I think it's the 69 style, and then of course the stripes, the 68 stripes.
Did you lay those down yourself?
Yeah. I actually did it twice. I had glossy black for a long time. Then I started getting into shows, and I started getting into the flat black, and so I changed it all up to flat.
And speaking of decals, you also got the boss stripes going on down the side as well.
Yeah, I had to pick the 69. That's the 69 boss stripe, so I had to go with that.
I think you just belong in like a late 60s Mustang. I think you...
Like I said, when they came out with the 2005, to me that's the best model because it just brought out a lot of the history of Mustangs.
And you got the bullet wheels going on there. I mean, you obviously have a little bit of a theme going.
Again, 70 style, the mag wheels that they had back then. They did have the chrome back then, that was the main thing, but I really liked the new style of black.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Let's move around back, Tom, because I think if the front, is any indication, the back is probably just as modified. And I really want to talk about your exhaust setup because it sounds like you got pretty radical with that. You got an Outlaw exhaust, but with Corsa quad tips, correct?
Yeah, I started off with the Pypes conversion because I had to have dual exhaust. And it sounded so good when I was listening to your video clips and watching some of your videos. I was debating on which way to go. And at the time, I wasn't sure if you could go with the GT exhaust system. I wasn't sure if that was going to cause a problem. So you guys offered the V6 conversion. And of course, I jumped on that, and it was a no-brainer. It was really easy once I did it. And then, I had that for a few years. And then you guys came out with the little panel that goes on the bottom there for your GTs.
Yeah.
And I thought, this may work. And I put that on there. I had a gap. And so, I did a lot of research on melting plastic. And I melted plastic to the bumper, and it worked fine. Then I seen your quads. Man, I have to have those quads. I wanted to keep that black Valance thing on the bottom, and I thought, how can I do that? So then I started doing some research on plastic welding.
Plastic welding, yep.
So I took a deep breath, did some cutting, did some taping, and got it lined up right, and it worked perfect.
I'm looking at the pictures now. It looks flawless, and that was the MMD by FOOSE Valance you're cutting up.
Then, of course, I wanted the mufflers to sound a little louder. I thought, you know, I'm sure I can put a GT muffler on this car. I'm sure it's not going to hurt it. And so I seen the Outlaw, listened to your clips. Yeah, I was debating on, is it going to work with my quad exhaust? But I was able to make it work. Just had to cut the tips off.
It looks great. Now, while we're in the back, before we move on, you know, I have to talk about the taillights. You got the Raxiom taillights out back as well, I guess, to match the headlights. And the honeycomb Decklid panel, again, to your classic Mustangs. There you go, right?
When I was debating on buying the car, I seen a Mustang drive by with that on it. And I said, oh, yeah, that's nice. One thing I may do is, I know you come out with your new vectors, which I really love. I'm that close of hitting the switch on buying them,
you know, maybe down the road a little bit. If you guys want to see more of Tom's ride, including a complete breakdown of all of his modifications, and believe me, there's a lot going on, check out his build page back at AM, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just click on that link below. But, well, Tom, let's go inside, because, like you said earlier, trying to throw the interior back, or no, I know Ford was originally with the 05s to 09s, but you've taken their design and just, you know, one-upped it. I mean, you got gauges everywhere. It looks like the TMI seats. Talk a little bit more about what you've done inside the car.
I remember going to Newport Beach here in California, and back in the 80s, and the very first 68 GT convertible, it had the roll bar, and I loved it. It was one of my things that I had to buy, because I loved that roll bar. It reminded me of the old Shelbys.
Now, all the gauges, what are you monitoring there, man? It looks like everything.
The gauges I had in the center there is a clock. I really like the 69. You know how they always have the clock. I wish they would have had something on the side there to mimic the Mach 1 clock. That would be great. But then I went with the voltage gauge. I had to have that. At the time, my goal was to put a supercharger on it. That was my goal. So I ended up buying the supercharger.
Okay.
Yeah, the gauge for that. But then I started driving it more and more every day. It wasn't really an everyday car at the time, but it became an everyday car. And I thought, you know, I know if I put a supercharger or something on there, I'm going to get a ticket, and, you know, something's going to happen. And I didn't need that. The 3 gauges on the pillar side, my temperature gauge, my oil pressure gauge, and temperature of the oil, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to run hot or anything like that. The ones that I did get had multiple colors, so I could change the colors to green, blue, red, whatever color I want to change it to.
The yellow inserts in the door panels and those seats, you love the TMI stuff?
I got a great deal. I got 50% off.
Can't beat that.
And I had to buy the yellow, and that it was a perfect opportunity. I had leather seats in it to begin with, but they were getting uncomfortable. And so I needed to buy new seats, and that became a perfect opportunity. And then I was debating on the yellow panels on the side, and I seen the red ones that you guys had. So I wanted to go with the yellow, so I kind of mimicked that.
It looks awesome, man. And then obviously you got a lot of other little trinkets throughout the interior to kind of splash it up a bit. A lot of the modern billet stuff, chrome headlight knobs, the AC covers, in addition to like the leather shift boot and things like that. You threw in the armrest cover as well there to kind of cherry on top.
It just looks great. It matches, you know, the Mustang, and I really like it.
Well, let's move into the under hood, Tom, if you don't mind, because you also have some stuff going on in there as well. Obviously, we covered the shaker hood aspect, but I see a lot of like the MMD strut tower covers. You also have the radiator extensions and a lot of the yellow accents. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on under there?
I was at a car show, and I seen somebody with those boots on the struts. And I thought, you know, that's a great idea. I mean, where the heck did he get those? And I got onto your website. You know, you had everything I wanted, which is the boots, the side things.
The extensions on the rad cover there, I think?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I seen that, you know, that's going to make inside of the engine compartment a lot better. So I ended up getting the battery and the brake covers. Everything worked fine. And then I just kind of decided I'd paint some stuff yellow. You know, I think one of the next things I will probably be picking up if I do something for the interior will be the chrome oil cap and the water cap and things like that. That'll probably be one of the final things I do. Absolutely. I do have the cold air, no problems there. And the tune that came with it, that worked great for you guys when you sold that. So I was really glad about that. I could see a big difference. It worked really great. I enjoy it.
And she runs pretty good, huh?
It runs great.
I love your spirit, man. You're making it work. I mean, that's what it's all about. Modifying things that maybe weren't originally intended, and the end result speaks for itself. It's a beautiful car.
Well, like I said, you guys have some great videos that teach you how to do things, good recommendations on what to buy, and I really appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job.
It's our pleasure. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today, Tom. I really appreciate it. And keep on modding.
No problem. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. All right, well, there you go, guys. That was Tom and his 2005 V6. I tell you what, Tom's spirit for modifying, taking things that aren't meant to go on his car, making them work and making them look good is really impressive. And hey, hopefully it gives you guys some ideas at home. That's kind of the point of these videos. So we hope you dig it. If you want to see Tom's full breakdown of all of his modifications, click on the link below if you're watching this on YouTube, or just feel free to check out his build page back at AM. In the meantime, I'm Justin. Thanks for watching. And remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.